Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So I like to do a little bit of everything. So I do makeup, I do lifestyle, but I do want to incorporate a couple more book reviews. I did one recently for Infinite Country by Patricia Engel, and today I'm going to be talking about Arsenic and Adobo by Mia P. Manansala. So this is a Filipino writer and it's a Filipino story. It's absolutely amazing, and I really want to break it down because there's a lot here. First of all, let's talk about the cover. Right now I'm holding up just a dust jacket because I don't know what I did with it. I take these off while I'm reading them just because I don't want to damage them because I'm a little bit chaotic sometimes. This cover is absolutely gorgeous and it has a dachshund on it and it has adobo, so that's really what made me choose this book. This is a book of the month selection or option, so I picked it for the month of April and I read it in 2 days. It's a relatively short book. It has like under 300 pages. It's like a cozy mystery read. I'm curious to see if this is going to become a series because it definitely feels like it could be a Tita Rosie's Kitchen Mystery, so I feel like it might become a series, and I'm definitely with it. I think this would also make a great Netflix show. It has a dachshund in the back, super cute. Opened up the blurb again, and yes, it is going to be a series. It's the first book in a new culinary cozy series full of sharp humor and delectable dishes. So basically our protagonist returns home. She's helping her aunt with her Filipino restaurants because it's kind of struggling. It's a small business, and one day her ex-boyfriend, who's really obnoxious and annoying, comes, sits down, has a meal, the meal that our protagonist served him, and then he passes away and he's been poisoned. So now she has to figure out who did it and why in order to save her restaurant from being shut down completely, because it's bad press obviously to have a murder occur in your restaurant. And also they suspect our protagonist, who is so hilarious. She's so witty. It's funny because so many bad things happen to her, like it's just a series of unfortunate events here, but it is a very cozy, warm read. It is very centered around food. Obviously it's a Filipino restaurant and she's coming back to her hometown, being gone in college, and she had a bad relationship previously that ended with cheating. So there's a lot of important discussions that occur around food, and I think that's really interesting. It's kind of like that's where you sit down, you eat, and you talk about your feelings, and I think food can be a big comfort for a lot of people. So I definitely enjoyed those aspects. It really made me really hungry. I'm not really familiar with Filipino food. I've grown up in a very large Asian American community, but we don't really have a lot of Filipino restaurants. I looked it up actually after reading this book because I was so inspired, and there are a couple in my borough in New York City, but none that close to me. But I definitely want to check it out with my fiance because he is much more adventurous with food than I am, and a lot of these dishes sound really good. There's also a glossary right before the story starts that kind of helps with the pronunciation of certain foods, of certain slang that the characters use, of certain like family titles, and I think that's really helpful and handy, and I definitely reference back to that a couple of times during the book. I was gonna say the video, but after a certain point you kind of memorize it, like you kind of get it, especially because the word aunt is very similar to how I say it in Spanish. So I definitely love this book. It's cozy, it's fun. I do think it gets a little frustrating just because you sympathize with the character and a lot of things go wrong. She's obviously being framed for this murder and it's not her, so she has to like go through all these links to kind of fix the situation, but you also feel bad for her relatives because they're also getting impacted since this is their restaurant. It's a fun read. It's quick, it's witty, it makes you hungry. I definitely recommend it. The book is adorable. I definitely wish they featured more of her dog because I think he's so cute. He comes up in like 3 or 4 scenes, but I want more. But now that I know that it's a series, I think it's definitely gonna happen. Also, like I said, I think this would make a great Netflix show because there's so many different characters. They're very fleshed out, and you know, it's a big family with like aunts and uncles, and they even talk about how sometimes you call someone a relative even though they're a family friend, but somehow they end up being your aunt or your uncle, and I could definitely relate to that growing up. So I think it's fun, and I think because it has such a big cast of people, it would do well on a Netflix show. But yeah, I think those are my overall thoughts on this book. I enjoyed it. I think it was great. I would give it 5 stars, and I'm gonna continue to read more and bring more book related content onto this channel. So I'm gonna start a playlist. So right now it'll just be this video and Infinite Country, but as we go on, hopefully I can add more videos to that. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you read, if you enjoy book content. I feel like a lot of people don't, but it's so fun to get lost in a book, like especially when the world is chaotic and it's messy and it's depressing. It's so fun to just have a cozy read, and I would have loved reading this in the fall just because it does have those vibes, like just cozy, under the covers, fall, good food type of weather. Anyway, that being said, stay safe out there and I will see you soon. Bye.